Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you a tutorial on how to get this look that I'm wearing today. And if you guys stick around a little bit later into the video, I'm going to show you guys a new highlight that I just bought at Ulta. It's very pretty and I feel like it's going to suit a lot of skin tones. So if you guys want to know how I got this look, just keep on watching. So I'm using the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer to apply it to my eyelids before eyeshadow application, and I'm just rubbing it in with my fingers. Next, I'm using the Too Faced Sweet Peach palette along with this fluffy brush. It's the number C407 and I believe it's a chrome brush. And I'm taking the shadow White Peach all over my lids just to set that concealer. Next, I'm using the color Puree and I'm going to use this as my transition color. And I'm going to run it all over my crease with the Morphe M511. And I'm just sweeping it all over the crease in windshield wiper motions and making sure that there's no lines and kind of just blending everything out along the crease. Next, I'm using the Morphe brush M505 and I'm dipping it into the color Summer Yum. I'm staying pretty much out in the outer corner of the eye, just a little bit under the crease with this color. I'm using it mainly to create a little bit more depth into the eye, and I'm making sure not to go too into the eye, into the inner corner. So I want to stay mostly in the outer corner with this color, just a little bit under the crease, and I'm blending it away just to make sure there's no harsh lines. And I just keep blending it with this brush. This is a really good brush. It's not too big, it's not too small. It's the perfect size to just kind of go in between that crease and just kind of stay in that area. Next up, I'm using a flat shader brush and dipping it into the shade Charmed, I'm Sure. Now, I chose this brush because it's a little bit smaller, enough to be focusing on the outer corner of the eye. I'm not going to go in too deep into the eye with this shade. I'm going to stick around that outer corner part of the eye just to create a little bit more smokiness into this eye look. Next, I'm using the Morphe brush M431 and dipping it into the color Talk Derby to Me. This is a dark purple shade that I'm using even further into the corner of the eye just to kind of deepen things up a little bit more, just because I felt like the color that I used before, it wasn't quite as dark as I wanted it to. So this one, not also is it dark, but it also adds a little bit more of a different color to the look because it's a little bit purple. Next, I'm using the shade Luscious from the palette, and I'm using the Naked 3 brush that we got in that palette, the thinner side of the brush, and I'm using it to pack on that glittery, shimmery shadow all over the lid. Next up, I'm using the same brush, just the bigger, thicker side of that brush, and dipping it into the shade White Peach. And I'm going to put it on the brow bone just to highlight that area a little bit more and make it stand out. After that, I'm using my Mud eyelash curler, and I'm curling my lashes right before applying mascara. That's me being a little bit silly, and I'm doing the other eye just to curl my lashes and make myself look more awake. Using a flat angled eyeliner brush, I'm gonna dip it into the L'Oreal Laquer liner in black, and I'm gonna start by doing the wing. So I'm gonna line my eye as high or as low as I want my wing, and then after I do that line, what I'm gonna do is take the longer side of the angled brush, pointing outward, and then drawing a line coming inward. And as you can see, it's kind of empty inside right now, so we're gonna have to color it in. But that's just how I start my liner, just to kind of create the base of the wing and then color everything in. And then we're gonna connect the line to the wing. And that's just the simplest way I've learned how to do my wing liner. I think it's really effortless. It does take practice. Even till this day, I still kind of mess up here and there, but the more you do it, the better you will get. Here I'm just showing you that I'm gonna curl my eyelashes for the second time right before applying mascara, and I'm just making sure not to get too close to the lash line since we did just put eyeliner, but I do curl my lashes at least 3 times, but in this case I'm gonna do it a second time. And I'm gonna be using the mascara by Essence, a Lash Princess False Effect Mascara. This was my first time using this mascara, and I must say it is very good. I love how you can even see in the video, it just separates those lashes, defines them, but it doesn't make them look spidery. It makes them look almost like a feathery eyelash, and I just love that false effect that the mascara gives. So this name, it's called the False Lash Effect Mascara, and I think they are on point with that name because just look at those lashes. Next up, I'm using this Hope and Glory One Heck of a Blot Primer. This is to keep oily skin at bay. I am more of a combination skin. I only get oily on my T-zone, so this is where I'm focusing this primer at. I'm putting it on my nose, a little bit on my forehead, around the eyebrows, just to kind of keep the oil at bay. Next up, I'm using the L'Oreal Beauty Sponge as well as the Covergirl Vitalist Healthy Elixir in number 732. And I'm dabbing this all over my face and using the sponge just to blend it out. Now to conceal, I'm using the Tarte Shape Tape in the shade Tan under my eyes just to conceal a little bit and brighten just a bit. I am not a fan of super light under the eye brightness, so I kind of use maybe, if anything, one level lighter than the rest of my skin tone, and I feel like that is just enough for my liking. And I'm using the L'Oreal Beauty Sponge just to blend everything out and making sure that there's no lines or creasing, and yeah. Next up, I'm using the NYX No Filter Translucent Powder in medium, and I'm using the Real Techniques brush just to make sure that everything under the eye is set and ensuring that nothing creases throughout the day. Using the Morphe M500 and the same powder that I used to set under the eyes, I'm just using the same thing to set all over the face and making sure that my foundation stays in place. Using the Rimmel London Kate Highlight Contour and Blush in the shade Golden Bronze, I'm using the contour of the palette and using the Sonia Kashuk blush brush to contour my face a little bit on under the cheekbones, and I'm going to sweep it across my forehead as well just to kind of give myself a little bit more color. Next up, I'm using the Morphe M527 blush brush, and I'm using this to apply the e.l.f. blush in Mellow Mauve all over my cheeks. Okay, so I'm doing a voiceover for the most of the video, but I just had to stop and talk to you guys about this new highlight that I'm going to use. So this one is the BECCA. It's the Lilac Geode Shimmering Skin Perfector. It's so pretty. So I just wanted to show you guys the packaging. There's the box, which is completely different from what BECCA usually does. It's very, very girly, very holographic-y. And then this is the packaging. Look at this packaging. So pretty. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about why I bought this. I was at Ulta the other day and they had a whole display and it said exclusive to Ulta. And then it said that this shade, this tone of highlight suits all sorts of skin tones. And I thought, yeah, that makes sense because it's a violet tone. And if you think about it, the color wheel, violet is made out of blue and red. Blue is a cool tone, red is a warm tone, and when you combine them together, you get purple, which is a neutral tone. So I bought this on a whim. I got home, I used it yesterday, and I was just in love. So I'm going to show you guys right now how I put it on, and so you guys can see how I wear it. This is the inside. Look at that. Ooh, so pretty. This is the brush I usually use. I think this is the Crown. It's a Crown brush. It just doesn't have a label on it. I got it so many years ago. It's nice and fluffy. So I'm gonna do that. Tap off the excess and just dab it on top of the cheekbones. And then the other side. Put a little bit down the bridge of the nose. And if you can see, it has a gold cast to it with a lilac shift. So it is a little bit of a holographic finish, but it's so pretty. I can see how it will suit a lot of skin tones. I actually saw another video where there was a darker skin girl that used it and it looked so beautiful on her. And I saw somebody like as fair as snow using it and it looked so pretty on her. This is a good one if you're thinking of kind of going outside of your box and just experimenting with something different. This is a really good one to start at. For the lips, I'm using this Buxom lip gloss in the shade Dolly. And that is a complete look. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.